All right, everybody out there on social media and YouTube, I'm Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show, and I'm joined here by Alex Moore.
How do you do?
I was about to say, did you already disappear, Alex? We haven't even started yet. So we're sorry we're running.
No, I've not been yet.
Okay, we're running just a little bit late because we've been having some technical problems, and I blame it on the press conference that's going on right now. But I guarantee you, we are more entertaining. So this is a trivia contest from That Nerd Show called Name That Movie. And here is how it works. Also, welcome to the studio at That Nerd Show. Of course, we always have a classic game going on in the background. We're not going to tell you what it is. It's not part of the contest, but you know, if you're a nerd, you should be able to see this video and know exactly what's playing in the background in our studio. But anyway, here's how it goes with the trivia contest. So we will give you a movie line, okay? We're not, and then we will. The first person to post the name of the movie will win that round. You get 1 point per round, and we're going to do 25 movie lines. So now we're having a little bit of problems with Facebook, so we'll do it this way. There's an event page that you're supposed to actually do everything, but if you don't do it on the event page and you post underneath this stream, that's fine too. We'll keep track of who posted first. So we apologize for the confusion, trying to make this as easy as possible, but apparently this is Skynet we're talking about. Anytime we have a technical problem, we always blame it on Skynet. All right, we're going to get started here shortly. And if you need to grab a beer, go to the restroom, any of that mess, go ahead and do it now. I'm going to get over to my Facebook page, and I will click a link. I'll click a link to the event page if you want to post your answers there like you're supposed to. Like I said, we will be keeping track of both. But anyway, this is live, so we're just going to roll with it and go with it. Now, we're also going to have some media guests call in and do a round with us. We're going to see, you know, they're going to deliver their own movie lines or use one of ours. But anyway, yeah. And in answer to one of the questions, I am drinking an English ale. But anyway, if you want to go to the event page, I'm going to post it on my thread. This is actually where you're supposed to be posting your answers in the discussion thread. But that's also where we're going to put the movie line. We will copy and paste the movie line itself. But anyway, also, okay, so I guess we're experiencing even more technical problems. Somebody just said that the permissions for the event have been turned off. I honestly don't know how to do that because I don't go live on Facebook. So that's a very good question. Scott, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do here. Do you know how to do anything about the permissions? Or, well, actually, it's in, let me go back to the event page here. So, again, we apologize for running a little bit late. We will figure this out, I swear. Okay. Yeah. Alex, do you know by chance how to, yeah, okay. So I did that. Do you know how to reset the permissions on this? If anybody knows and can give me instructions, I greatly appreciate it. So I apologize that we're running late. Alex?
Yeah, I don't know. I just went live on my own page and honestly don't even know if what's being picked up. I've got 2 people watching so far, but
Okay. Well, yeah. So if anybody can help us out real quick, if there's something about permissions, yeah, let me, yeah, very, very,
Okay.
very sorry.
I do have one friend on here who's pretty good with technical computers. What specifically what permission he wants to know?
I got it. Never mind. I think it's about
Okay.
being able to post. So yeah, it does actually, apparently it does help if we select the option that everybody can post instead of just the admins. So thank you very much for pointing that out from a friend of ours. I did not think about that, so I apologize. But again, this is live, and we've got it on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. All right. So two different ways. We're trying to keep everything on the event page itself. In the discussion thread, that's where I'm going to copy and post everything. But I also provided a link underneath this live broadcast that's on my wall as well. And if somebody happens to put the answer there, we'll figure out who posted first and give you the point. So that's how that rolls. So we're going to extend this a little bit over 8 o'clock just because we're running late. So again, apologize for any technical difficulties. This is the first time we've ever decided to do it. Something like this, we just wanted to do a trivia contest online for people. So, but anyway, okay, I'm posting a link underneath this video, and I'm keeping track of the score. All right, Alex, are you ready? Are you ready to start this contest?
Yeah.
All right, let me get over here. Now, we're going to take about 5 minutes per round. Now, let me get to my movie lines. About 5 minutes per round. We're going to talk about the movies themselves that we're posting, and I'm actually going to post the first one on the event page right now as we're saying it. And I will go first, and then Alex is going to take the second movie line. All right. Here we go. On the event page itself, I'm posting the first movie line right now. It would help if I spell a word correctly. It's under the discussion thread on the event page itself. So, but here's the movie line. And we want to try to do it with as many an accurate voice as we can. So here it is. Check this out. Okay, you've already interrupted me. So we got to do it again. All right. Check this out. He must be king of the Wicker people. What movie is that from? First one to post their answer gets the point. So I got to tell you, I want to say this for the nerds out there. We started off with a nerdy movie, a nerd movie beloved from our childhood. That's your clue. It's a movie not in the Marvel universe, so you can't rely on Disney Plus or any things like that for this. This is kind of old school. But I'm going to be ashamed of the nerds out there if they don't know what this movie is. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'd be a little ashamed. But Alex, do you know the answer? Do you know the movie did you know the line without having
to? Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched this movie so many times. Well, probably at least twice in the theaters, but certainly on VHS numerous times to the point where I probably memorized every line. So that was what we did as kids. You memorized every line of every movie.
Right, of course.
So.
Of course.
Okay, I do have one friend here on my feed who just posted the answer. So.
Well, we're trying to keep it on the event page so everybody can see what it is. But I also, how long ago did they post it?
Like 2 seconds ago.
Okay. Well, it was underneath the video on my wall. We have Scott, who listed the movie 1 minute ago, so I think he was first.
Okay, good.
Okay. So again, we're not trying to add any confusion, but if you could go to the event page and post it there, that would make things easier, so we can see everybody's answer. But Scott, you are correct. The answer is Batman. We're talking about the Tim Burton Batman movie from 1989. And it's the reporter played by Robert Wool, who said the line to Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger. So anyway, okay. So there we go. Scott gets the first point. All righty then. Okay. We should make sure too that you are able to post underneath the thread itself. Alex, are you able to go to the event page and post a comment underneath the thread itself? I want to make sure. Yeah, we're doing a quick little check, and then we're going to get to the next line.
Let me check.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, you said you want me to leave a comment on just the
Yeah, because I posted the. That's what we're trying to do. Anything. So again, we apologize for any confusion with this, but under the description thread where I put the line, we're trying to make sure that everything. Unfortunately, it's doing it as That Nerd Show for me because I think I created the event, so that's why I'm having you check it.
Okay, I see your video of you live. Looks like it's still okay.
Not my video, but the event page.
Yeah, it's good. I see the first post from the first round and response by Chad Womack. So
No, well, again, we're trying to. Okay. So people can. Great. All right. So like I said, you can do it underneath the video. We'll check the timestamp, but you are supposed to post it underneath on the discussion thread, underneath the line that we say there anyway. Okay. All right. So here's what we're gonna switch things up real quick. We're gonna let Alex do something real quick. You're going to do the second line, and you got it in front of you, right? Because I'm about to post it.
yes.
All right, Alex, say the next movie line that people have to guess.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
All right, this is another nerd movie. You should absolutely know this.
Right.
All right. So I just posted it on the event page itself. Yeah, so I have to also say too that when we did the press screening on this movie, our very own Brendan Smith was laughing so hard, had a beer in his hand, and literally rolled out of the movie seat at the Angelica Theater and spilt beer. It was quite humorous. But this is another nerd movie that I think everybody should know. So. After we're done with this and somebody gets the answer, we're going to have a friend of the show call in, and from I Love That Movie podcast. But anyway, nobody knows the answer. I'm getting a little disappointed here. Are they just not being? Okay. Did not everybody hear Alex? Because I will repeat it. All right. I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s. That is the line. And by the way,
it's more recent, of course, but
No, doesn't have as much, love as Batman. Hasn't been around as long. So,
But
but anyway, really, I am greatly surprised. I will give everybody a hint. This movie did come out in the last few years.
and it's the opposite of of the universe that we were just in.
So really, nobody, not even Chad's gonna guess. Okay, all right. I think Scott finally came on board, and I think we finally got an answer. Yes, the movie is in fact Deadpool. All right. So, come on, everybody. Don't let Scott beat you. Okay. All right. We're going to have someone call in and deliver a movie line. As I said before, we're going to have some surprise guests who are going to have their own movie lines. Stop. Okay. Are you on the phone with us, Lisa?
I am.
Okay. All right. So say something again. Let's just make sure that we can hear you.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Can everybody hear? I hope so. All right. Now, we already had our own line for round number 3. However, did you want to give your own line?
Oh, okay.
Well, you can pick your own, or I'll just message to you what we had. It's entirely up to you.
As you know, I don't typically record live, so it might be good to go ahead and send me one.
Okay, I just messaged you.
Okay, great. Okay, am I good to read it?
It is on Facebook Messenger now.
Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and read it.
Okay. All right. Here is the movie line, everybody. And again, this is another one. If you don't know what movie this is from, you should be ashamed of yourself as nerds. Go ahead, Lisa.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
All right. Go ahead and repeat it.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
All right. There you have it. I'm in a glass case of emotion. And while we're waiting for everybody's answers, we want to hear a little bit about your podcast. Tell the world, or social media on our live channels about your podcast.
Yeah, so I have a podcast called I Love That Movie, and each week I have a guest, and we talk about a movie that they love. So my guest always chooses a movie. We both watch it, and then we just chat. It's just a love fest. There's no unbiased opinion. It is 100% biased, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
I would think that if you're talking about certain movies, I mean, you're going to be a little biased. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, we're definitely not reviewing them. We're more just saying how much we like them for an hour.
Talking about your favorite bits.
Exactly.
Okay. So as we're waiting for answers real quick and you're on the phone, obviously you know what movie this is from.
Cool.
What is one of your favorite things about this movie that may or may not have a clue for the people playing?
Can I do like one word from another quote, or is that like too obvious?
No, you do whatever. Like I said, if they can't, well, I think somebody already figured it out, but go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I was going to say San Diego is something that I still say.
San Diego.
Regularly in my household, so yeah.
Would you like to?
There's a lot of clues I could give. I could just give it away.
Would you like to go to San Diego? San Diegoans. Fantastic. Let's see.
We have a hater already posting.
No. I'm just trying to judge who won it first in the event page. Like I said,
Somebody wrote that they hated
it. They already hated this movie. Whatever. How can you hate this movie?
He's not saying what it is.
Well, the answer is Anchorman. Okay.
Yep.
And Scott gets another point there. Okay. Other people, you got to guess. We can't just let Scott run away with this. Okay. So, but anyway, real quick, your podcast, I Love That Movie podcast. When do you usually do episodes?
I do them about weekly. Usually release them on the weekends, although this whole pandemic that's going on has kind of thrown off my schedule a little bit. But yeah, I do an episode every week. Usually the episodes release on the weekends. And then if you join our Patreon, I also do a bonus episode of just like my weekly roundup. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, eventually Alex and I are going to be on your podcast talking about a movie.
Please.
Yes.
Would love to have you.
Although it may have to be post quarantine, I swear to God.
Seriously.
Yes, but
I mean, luckily my show is pretty much almost 100% remote, so it hasn't affected it that way. But obviously lives are affected, and so
right.
Naturally, yeah.
Well, we can be remote, hence why I have 3 cameras that are streaming live on different channels and stuff. But yes, a little preview. Alex and I are going to be talking about a great movie from the 90s on her podcast, Empire Records, which is this year is the 25th anniversary of that movie.
Yes, we need to do that soon. That would be so fun.
Well, we will definitely get onto that. Well, thank you, Lisa, for joining us for one round and giving the movie line. And, and just remember how to pronounce it correctly. It's San Diego.
Yes, San Diego.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. We're going to get to round 4. Come on, people. You got to guess. And that includes you, Mr. Chad Womack. You can't just post that yes, we're saying that. You can't just post that you hate this movie. You got to guess what movie it is. All right. The next movie line. So some of these are going to actually be hard, but we threw a couple of easy ones out there. All right. Here is your next movie line. It's the first time I've ever seen you ugly, and that makes me kind of happy. And I will repeat that. It's the first time I've ever seen you look ugly, and it makes me kind of happy. What movie is that from? Some of you might actually have to ask your girlfriends on that one, or your wives. I'm just saying. So, and again, you know what movie that's from, right?
Yeah, this was one that I liked a lot when it came out, and so I guess it's not necessarily from one of the more classic scenes per se, but fans of the movie should know it right away. So
right, I agree. Yeah, I have to admit, it was actually one of my favorites too. I very much enjoyed it, but I love the cast. Yeah, it's a Paul Feig movie. There's a clue for you. So if you're quickly going to imdb.com, try to look up the answer. We just gave you the director. But anyway, he put together a really good cast for this movie. All of the women in it. Oh, and see, there's another clue. We're extremely funny.
Yeah.
So there you go. I just dropped 2 clues for everybody. Okay. Is anybody else playing besides Scott? Okay. I mean, we'll give Scott prizes, but some of you got to catch up. All right. Come on, people. Let's do this. All right. Scott gets another point. But yes, the answer is Bridesmaids. So there you go. All righty then. Moving right along. Here in a little bit, we're going to have another guest call in with his movie line. But movie line number 5. Alex, what is it?
I learned a long time ago that worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
Very true. Wise.
Yeah, sage advice. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's sage advice for college, which is a little clue. So, the lead actor in this movie, I think once everybody saw this movie, we knew he was going to be a star and that he could do no wrong. especially taking on a certain role that he was, perfect for. We're not dropping too many clues, but very, very funny guy. Everybody knows him. One of the best college movies ever. That's pretty much, kind of our, our clue for that. Does anybody got a guess, or did we stump everybody? We might have actually. I know we might have actually come to the point of this contest where we stumped everybody, or Google's not working fast enough as they're trying to type in the line. But we'll repeat it. I learned a long time ago that worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. That is the line. No, in answer to everybody, you're supposed to be posting answers on the event page, but my the live Facebook recording is actually on my wall, so I guess you could technically do it anywhere, and we will double check. And that includes Alex. Alex, did anybody on your wall?
Well, no, I'm not seeing any answers here on my video, but I am seeing answers to the post of the quotes. So
okay, and
on the event page.
Okay, so finally Google was working for someone. They got the answer.
Well, Chad's been posting on several of these on the actual posts with the quotes. So.
Well, I'm not seeing any posts.
It's on. Yeah, he's commenting on the actual post of the quotes. So.
Okay. Well, I think Chad actually got this one first, so we're trying to keep it up. Yeah. But Scott, you were right too. The answer is Van Wilder with Ryan Reynolds. So, but to someone who said Animal House, you're in the same ballpark because it is technically a National Lampoon's movie. So there we go. Van Wilder. All righty. Okay. Sorry, Scott. You can't go undefeated on this. Okay. But all good answers. And Van Wilder is one of the funniest movies ever. But it also made people rethink eating eclairs. So, all right. Here is your here's your next one. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, I threw this one as kind of an easy one because if no one really figures this out right off the bat, if the answers aren't quick on this one, then I'm going to be very disappointed because this one's too good. All right. So let me do my best impersonation. It's not a man purse. It's called a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one. By the way, a little story I like to tell. One of our former bloggers who's now down in Disney World, loves cosplay and stuff like that. We knew he started writing for us when he was in high school. He used to love to cosplay this character from the movie, and literally has a whole set of pictures of him cosplaying this character in Vegas years ago. Ding, ding! We got an answer. It came in there pretty quick. Yeah. Of course, Kelly, you would know the answer. But yes, the answer is The Hangover, the first Hangover. And that is Zach Galifianakis. But yeah, that one's too easy. I just threw that out there to, see what would happen. But I'm glad I could. But yeah, his name is Daniel Granite. You should go check his page out and his Instagram with all of his great cosplayer outfits and stuff. Yeah, he would go around Vegas dressed as this guy, and the photos are absolutely hilarious. So, all right. Making sure my pen works. Let's get to the next movie line. We got that one. Okay. Now, this one's kind of hard. We're just going to give you fair warning. But but it's a great movie and shot in New Zealand. That's kind of your clue. All right. And since you reviewed the movie years ago, Alex, you get to do the line. Now remember, you got to have the pause in part of it. So here we go. What's the line?
Faulkner is Caucasian. Well, they got that wrong because you're obviously white.
That's right. I know you're going to be kind of stumped on. You're going to be stumped on this one a little bit. I think that I'll be honest. I think this is a round where no one's going to get the answer, or Google's not going to work fast enough. I should probably put on the Jeopardy theme song. Do 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 do.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the post on Facebook and see if anybody gets it.
Yeah.
You got the point on the last one. Who did you give it to?
I gave it to Kelly, and we apologize if we're trying to keep up with who's doing what. We're posting it on our event page, and of course, you're watching us do it live on my Facebook wall. But here's the movie line. Faulkner is Caucasian. Well, they got that wrong because you're obviously white. Yeah. And it's a great movie, too. It's one of my favorite movies from 2016. Oh, look, I gave a clue. Movies from 2016. Also, Sam Neill, who was in this movie, was really, really funny. There's another clue. But so if we're having controversy over points, I do apologize. We're trying to keep up with the threads. We met for this to really just be on one discussion thread instead of underneath the video, but we'll get better when we do this again. But we're going to roll with it. I'm telling you.
Okay, Chad Womack is stumped on this one too. So
yeah,
that's pretty challenging then.
I'm telling you, we didn't even get to classic movies either. That's the funny part. This is like a movie that came out in the last 5 years. Okay. Scott's got Google working. Yes, Scott, you are correct. Hunt for the Wilder People. That is the name of the movie. And I believe it's actually free on Amazon and Hulu right now. And if you've never seen this movie, you should go check it out. It was directed by Taika Waititi, who just got through doing Jojo Rabbit and won an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit, and he did the Thor Ragnarok movie. He also created that show What We Do in the Shadows, which they made a movie, and then of course there's the FX TV show as well. So, but this is one of his movies that came out a few years ago. It's extremely funny, and everybody should check it out. All right. Now, this one is for you writers out there. So I'm already giving you a little clue of what to look for. But here is the next line. You guys ready? All right. A drug person can learn to handle such things as seeing their dead grandmother crawling up their leg with a knife in her teeth. But no one should be asked to deal with this trap. I'll repeat it. A drug person can learn to handle such things as seeing their dead grandmother crawling up their leg with a knife in her teeth, but no one should be asked to deal with this trap. All right. Did we stump everybody on this one? Because a good clue about this movie, it is appropriate to be on an acid trip while watching this movie. You might you might do a better job of trying to figure it out, or having some really good special brownies. I almost said the main actor in the movie, but I think that would have given it away. too easily. So, anybody? Did we stump you? Or is Google not working as fast? You are allowed to Google. I mean, you can take the time to Google the answers. So, how would you rate this movie that the line is from? Is this a movie you like, or are you overly critical of it?
Oh man, well you can't be as harsh when it's something nostalgic. So yeah, I tend to be a little bit more lenient on these kinds of movies. But this isn't one that was like one of my favorites per se. It was
Right.
mostly something that when I was in high school, I knew a lot of people who liked it, so I watched it, and it was fun, but may not have been as fun for me as it was for some of my friends. So
Right.
kind of liked it without loving it, I guess.
Cool. Well, we do have the correct answer. It is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. We will accept a partial answer since you at first didn't say Vegas, but that is correct. Johnny Depp, favorite, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And your writing clue for the writers out there that might be paying attention was, of course, Hunter S. Thompson, because he's playing Hunter S. Thompson in the movie. All right. This is it is a really, really funny movie for me. But again, I have to be in the right frame of mind to kind of watch it. So, all right. Let's do this. We are on to number 9 in our movie line. So, Alex, what is it?
Well, I'm going to try my best. They will listen to anything if they think it's foreplay.
I like how you're trying to do your Carolina accent there. And by the way, Carolina is a clue because of where this movie was filmed.
That's a big clue, too.
I know. If you don't pick up on that clue, it's also in honor of a movie based on a sports season. Yeah, we already gave you a clue that it's a sports movie. But it's based on a sports season that in real life may not happen because of coronavirus. So we may be resorted to just watching these kinds of movies.
Right.
So when it comes to the particular sport that this movie is about, this is actually my favorite movie in that category.
And I would probably put it around there too. I think certain sports have had better they've had better films based on their sports compared to the others. This one has probably the longest history because it's been around the longest, but there's another clue, I guess. But yeah, I mean, for most people who are fans of sports film, this is easily a top 10.
Yeah. And Chad, you get the answer correctly. It is Bull Durham. Susan Sarandon in Bull Durham. It is my favorite baseball movie. I think it is the purest baseball movie. Yes, Field of Dreams is awesome. Sandlot, of course, is a great coming-of-age baseball movie. But this movie right here is the purest form of baseball and understanding the game and love and life over everything. And it is better than The Natural. Boom. I said it. Threw the gauntlet down. It is better than The Natural. But I do love The Natural. So.
And those both came out the same year, I believe. So pretty interesting year for sports, for baseball.
Well, the movies didn't come out at the same time. Natural is 19.
Oh, that's right. Natural came out a few years before that.
Yeah,
that's
1984, right. And then this I believe is 88.
88, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, Major League in '89, which a lot of other people like too. But
all right. Sorry, are you still there, Alex, or did I disconnect you?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here.
Saying that you're kind of muffled, so we're trying to amplify the sound a little bit. He's on a Bluetooth, and hopefully he'll be able to be picked back up. Can everybody hear Alex? Okay.
Should I say something?
Well, I don't know how this is going to work. I got the Bluetooth speaker that you're on next to all the cameras that are broadcasting. So, all right.
Okay.
Cool. And yes, A League of Their Own is obviously has to be in your top 5 of baseball movies. That movie is so, I'll just say it, it's fucking hysterical. And you're right. There is no crying in baseball, except when your team wins the World Series. You're allowed to cry then. And I did when the Cubs finally won. So, all right, moving on to the other movie lines. All right, here in a little bit, we're going to have another guest call in and deliver his own movie line. So give me 1 second here. Let me pull up the, all right. Here's another one from the 90s. I'm going to give you one from the 90s. And again, this is one I think everybody should know. All right. It's the principle of the whole thing. It's principalities in this. That's right. Okay, everybody. It's the principle of the whole thing. It's principalities in this. That's your movie line. Yeah, this was another great little 90s movie too, and I don't think it mattered where you came from or anything. Everybody just absolutely.
Yeah, Chad was quick on that one.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, I keep having to refresh, so I'm trying to refresh to get to the comments fast enough.
He had it within seconds. It was quick. So.
Okay, all right. Wow, yeah, that didn't take to. Yes, Friday was one of those movies that everybody saw in high school. It didn't matter if you were black, white, anything. Everybody enjoyed it. It's also what made us realize that Ice Cube was a bona fide movie star, even beyond Boys in the Hood, but that he could do comedy and everything, again, was just, there's so much going on in this movie that's hilarious. And I love the fact that they have a character named Big Worm. I mean, so anyway, that's just having a movie where it's Big Worm. That's just as good as like that show on FX called The League, where they had a friend named Taco. So anyway, all right, we're going to get to number 11. We're moving right along. All right. This one I feel like people are going to have to Google. So I did throw in some classic. I threw in some classic movies there. All right. I didn't want to do it just all in the last 20 years. So this one, your clue is yes, it's a classic movie. Okay. All right. Alex, go ahead and say it.
Okay, I'll do my best again. I picked you for the job not because I think you're so darn smart, but because I thought you were a shade less dumb than the rest of the outfit.
All right.
This is a movie I'm very familiar with, so I was happy that this got included. That was a very nice inclusion.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you, and I'll repeat the line. I picked you for the job not because I think you're so darn smart, but because I thought you were a shade less dumb than the rest of the outfit. The reason that I threw this movie line in there is I was looking up like obscure movie lines, things that are not so obvious, because we do want to challenge people. And I agree with you about I agree with you about this movie. It's a great classic. It came out in the 40s. There you go. That's a clue. But yeah, one of the just all-time great classic stories. We could give you other clues, but again, we want you to get on Google and oh wow, Christine nailed it right out of the bat. There you go. Well, she's a law person. The film is Double Indemnity. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But anyway, Alex, tell us why this is a great movie.
Well, I think in a lot of ways it's kind of an original. You know, the film noir style was still pretty new, as in maybe 2 or 3 years old, if you want to go back to Citizen Kane as being the original. So this was just a little bit after that. And it sort of introduces the idea of having a femme fatale as a main character, which I think was also kind of a new thing, really a new thing for movies at that point as well. So you've got people in the movie who are known more for different kinds of roles, and here they are doing something either in a lesser role or in a more dramatic role. So it was showing a lot of versatility with some of these actors as well.
Right. I agree. Tell us who the stars of this movie are.
Oh gosh, you just had to put me on the spot. Yeah, no, I probably would have been able to name them one after the other, but because I got put on the spot, I'm having trouble. I just remember,
well,
I can give you some clues. I mean, well, I can't think. I'm
don't worry
that.
about it. Well,
McMurray, is that the main character?
Fred McMurray, yes.
Fred McMurray, yeah, for My Three Sons.
Exactly.
Known more for his comedic acting, but certainly a straight role. He did a great job.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I'm just having trouble remembering the name of the actress, and I should remember this.
Edward G. Robinson. Edward G. Robinson was in it.
Right, and this is the guy who was a guy who normally took the lead role in movies, but was convinced that it was okay for him to take a lesser role because he was getting later into his career and ended up doing a great job with sort of a supporting role.
Right. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that Fred McMurray did a lot of noir movies back in the 30s and 40s before he became well known with the TV show and the father figure.
Right.
So, all right. So there you go. Our truly classic movie line. All right. Here's another one that, again, I'm going to criticize nerds if you do not know what this movie is. And actually, I was trying to do it to where this would fall to where you would do it, but it's my turn. So,
go ahead.
All right, here it is. Here is your movie line for round 12. And then we're going to have a guest star call in. All right, you guys ready? It's too bad she won't live, but then again, who does? It's too bad she won't live, but then again, who does? I don't really want to give any hard clues to this one. I just don't. Because, again, it's one of those that every nerd should see this film, hands down. And the director's cut. There's your clue. There's many cuts of this film. And they did make a sequel to it. That's all we're really going to say. Chad nailed it right off the bat. It is the movie Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner with Harrison Ford. Which, by the way, the final cut version is actually on Netflix. It's not the theatrical release. It's the final cut version. So, yes, Blade Runner. Okay, I don't know if there's any technical problems with that, the event page itself. So if you want to just post underneath this video, that's fine. We'll have a better handle on things the next time that we try this. But anyway, Blade Runner is that film. All right. So we're going to do one more, and then we're going to take a quick break because we're going to have a friend of ours call into the show and do his own movie line. So I'm going to get ready to copy and post. And Alex, are you ready with this movie line?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, number 13. Okay. I didn't ask for a shake. That must have been somebody else. Most of that pudding isn't mine. Also, I'm wearing this suit today because I had a very important meeting this morning, and I don't have a crying problem.
probably the best performance of the lead actor in any film he's ever done, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to start posting some of the movie lines on the thread underneath this video just to make things a little bit easier. So, any guess? Is there any guesses on your wall?
Not so far. I'll just keep looking.
Yeah, this is another one that might stump people a little bit. But this is actually my favorite film by the lead actor. That despite all of his hilarious films that he's done over the years, and the show that he started on, Christine nailed it again. She's got her second point with Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
With Adam Sandler. All right, hold on one second. Hey, Dan, what's up? Okay, Dan, you're going to actually have to get off speakerphone so we can actually hear you.
Okay, I'm off.
Okay, there we go. But real quick before Dan gives the next movie line, we just want to say that Punch Drunk Love is one of the most brilliant movies ever. Great cast, and I don't think it's just such a huge departure that what Adam Sandler was really known for at that time, and he basically proved that he could act in that movie, and it's a great love story as a movie. Alex, any comments?
It was kind of a breath of fresh air for me for Adam Sandler. I don't know if anybody really knew he was capable of doing that, and so when he did, it was a nice surprise. And I've been a fan of that director really since Boogie Nights. So it really was just like, well, he's just made another really good movie. It was how I looked at it when I saw that. So,
all right, and real quick before we do the
Gotta
next,
love PTA, man.
yeah.
And Dan, as a movie person, do you have anything to say about Punch Drunk Love?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing I think Punch Drunk Love did that may not give it as much love, as much drunk love as received for his latest work, but I don't think you have uncut gems without Punch Drunk Love.
Right. I think that's true. And that was another one that was kind of a big departure from him last year as well, but a very good one. So, but anyway, yes, Punch Drunk Love is the answer on that. All right, here is the next movie line. Now, Dan, you're not going to go off our script. You had a great movie line from a movie that you wanted to. This is your own movie line, right?
The one I texted you earlier, yes.
Yes. All right. Hope everybody can hear Dan. Let me make sure I actually have it because I got to type it out too. Okay, I got to type this out, but go ahead and say it.
You can't take advice from the woman you're trying to hose about the woman you're trying to hose.
All right, go ahead and say that again.
You can't take advice about the woman you're trying to hose from the woman you're trying to hose.
All right, did everybody get that? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type this out. All right, I messed up on one thing, but that's okay. All right, does everybody got that? I said lady instead of woman based off your original text. It goes either way, but yes, you can't take advice from the lady you're trying to hose about the lady you're trying to hose. Anybody? And by the way, your clue is if you're from Texas and you've played this sport that the movie's about, you should know this movie, or you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm very surprised if Alex does not get this with his.
Alex, you know what this movie is, right?
It sounds very familiar, but it's one of those things where it's like right under my nose, and so I should know it right away. But I'm having some trouble remembering it right off the bat. So
I think if I delivered with the proper accent, everyone would know, but I think that also would give it away.
Well, we do have an answer. Christine gets another one right. It is the movie Tin Cup.
Cheech Marin, who should have got a dadgum Best Supporting Academy Award nomination.
Right.
Was amazing in that film, and very few people give him credit when his acting is truly good.
No, I agree on that. And it's when you're an actor that comes from movies like Up in Smoke and a great comedy duo with,
Chong.
Right, Tommy Chong. It's hard to get past that. It's kind of like Tom Cruise actually doing a good acting, doing a good movie that's a departure from his normal thing, like The Last Samurai, because we're so used to him in action movies like Mission Impossible or a racing movie or Jack Reacher or something.
The industry does have a tendency to look down on people doing stoner films. I think that will change. I'm personally waiting for the great Tom Hanks stoner movie.
It's out there. I feel like it's going to be more of a documentary. I think it's going to be more of a documentary when that happens because of him, being quarantined with Wilson. And when you're being quarantined with Wilson, the volleyball, and not a lot going on from coronavirus, what's left to do? Toke up. So
Talk to your wife.
Well, that
his
too.
wife, Rita Wilson. Yeah, what a strange coincidence.
Right. So, but anyway, yeah, great.
The truly bad people that have suffered through this, I think, is her band.
Right.
You're on the road with a person. Now you have quarantine. She's gotten quarantined. Now your ass. They're going to get quarantined too.
Right.
And they were just like, "Hey, I was only here to tour."
Right. Well, anyway, it's we had to throw Tin Cup in there. It's one of the best golf movies ever, and also True Life. There's another great line from that movie that we may use one day, but I think it's so true in life when Kevin Costner tells Rene Russo, "Golf and sex are the only two things you don't have to be good at to enjoy."
Amen.
Yeah, amen. All right, Dan is with the Real News. Real quick, tell everybody about Real News before we go to the next movie line.
Real News is a review show that also does lots of interviews with stars, and just shot a pilot called The Real News Show that we're hoping will be on the air sometime after the coronavirus.
Yeah, when production gets back up, ramped back up. Yes. That would be nice. So, and they can check all this out at
realnews.com. That's news with a Z.com. RELNEWZ.com.
Okay. Fantastic. Thanks, Dan, for doing a round with us. We'll bring you back at a later date.
Not a problem. Enjoy, guys.
All right. Okay. So we're going to get to the next round. We're on number 14. I believe, yes. Well, actually, no, I think we just did.
That was 14.
That was
14, wasn't
right.
it? He just replaced it, basically.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm going to replace number 15 with 14 because I already copied it into the post. All right. So we'll just skip 15, and this one will be 15. Oh my gosh, I'm having technical difficulties. Skynet is definitely at it again. All right, well, here's the movie line. I've always liked you. You were always the best of them. Best goddamn bartender from Timbuktu to Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon, for that matter. So I didn't do it in an accent. Hopefully people understood the line, but here it is again. I've always liked you. You were always the best of them. Best goddamn bartender from Timbuktu to Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon, for that matter. That is your line. Great classic movie. And if you don't know what that movie is, I don't have any hope for you. So I apologize. I literally just lost my list of movie lines. All right. Anybody got a guess? All right. Nobody? Nobody's got a guess on this? Wow, I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties. Okay, Christine gets that one again. Yes, it is The Shining. Okay, Scott, she's catching up to you, buddy. She's catching up. All right, give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. So sorry. Again, I'm having technical difficulties here. And there we go. All right. So you got the next movie line, Alex?
Okay. Do you want me to read the original 15 or do you want me to just skip that and
No,
to
go to 16.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I
So
got
get
it.
ready to
Okay.
copy and post. So as I've said before, anytime we have technical difficulties on our shows, it's always Skynet affecting us, and Skynet is definitely up to their old tricks with this one. All right, posted. Go ahead and say the line.
Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Shit. And I literally. All right, we're going to delete that and go to the other one because I literally just gave the answer. I just gave the character's name in there trying to copy and paste. So scratch that. We're deleting that. All right, actually go to what 15 originally was. And let me copy and paste that. Yeah, it doesn't help when I actually give the answer of the character's name. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the other one.
You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize.
There you go. You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize. That's the actual movie line. This is one too that I think a lot of people should get, considering who the director is. Yes, Chad. Obviously, it was, Fellowship of the Ring, the last answer. But I put Gimli next to the quote, which was very much a big clue on what movie. So that one doesn't count, but this one totally does. And yes. So this is one of those movies too that I felt like was a huge breath of fresh air into the industry when it came out in the 90s. It was very different. The dialogue was fantastic. But the director was still relatively unknown at the time. He wouldn't become huge until a couple years later with his next movie. And that's your clue. So what's your favorite thing about this movie that we're talking about?
Oh gosh.
Chad, we can't actually accept that answer because there's other movies with that one word. So we don't know what you're referring to. You actually have to say the full title of the movie. Just throwing it out there. But go ahead, Alex.
It's hard for me to say exactly. I guess in a way it's like it's sort of a precursor to one that most people remember this director for. And so you can kind of see how this movie led to that one, because I think there was definitely some carryover in terms of the style and storytelling and so forth. I mean, some might say that the movie that came out after it was, sort of perfected in a way, but in a lot of ways, this movie was equally good.
Yeah.
In terms of how it was made. So.
Well, the answer, Chad has got the correct answer. It is Reservoir Dogs. The line was delivered by Mr. White. And I think you make a great assessment about this movie. And hey, there's other movies called Reservoir, okay? You have to have the full title. I'm sorry. But it's the different points of views, and just again the incredible dialogue within the movie was hilarious. The soundtrack was perfect, and I mean, I think it's got to be one of Michael Madsen's best films too. I mean, just a straight up complete psychopath. But I also love the little speech by Steve Buscemi talking about how he doesn't believe in tipping. They all get on to him about, you're throwing $1 into the pile. But anyway, great movie. Obviously, of course, Quentin Tarantino would become much more well known with Pulp Fiction 2 years later in 1994, which basically made him a bona fide star. So, but yeah, Reservoir Dogs, great movie. Unfortunately, I don't feel like there's a line that we could throw out from Pulp Fiction that people wouldn't instantly get. There's just too many quotable lines in there. So, all right. Here's another great one from the 90s. That's right. It's not in the last few years. We hope that everybody gets this. So here you go. The next line, and I'm going to get ready to post it. This is your clue. It's a great coming of age movie that I feel like everybody has seen. All right, the movie line is, I didn't think drugs and alcohol were such a big deal that they had to resort to neo-McCarthyism to get rid of it. So, do you remember where you were the first time you saw this movie?
Not precisely. I just know, kind of around what time it, and it's kind of one of those movies to me that gets lumped in with another movie we were going over before. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I sort of kind of put those two movies together just because I kind of saw them around the same time, and a lot of people I knew who liked that movie, Fear and Loathing, liked this movie too. So.
Right. Oddly enough, I worked at a video store the first time I saw this. I didn't see it when it first came out, which was my freshman year of high school. But one of my stoner friends that I worked with at this video store was the one that got me into this movie. Ironically enough, yeah.
Of course.
And that's kind of a clue for you. So, really, nobody knows this movie. Wow, you Texans ought to be ashamed of yourself. Because this is a Texas movie. Great coming of age movie too. And this was the movie that absolutely cemented this director who wrote and directed it as, a star who would later go on and, do wonderful films and stuff that we absolutely love. And yes, Christine is correct. It is Dazed and Confused. We got an answer on that. All right, come on, people watching. You gotta get to Google faster, okay? Come on. Anyway, I don't know where our buddy Scott is, who had some answers in the very beginning. He may be getting surpassed here. But yes, Dazed and Confused. Great coming of age, obviously, stoner movie. The sad part about it is I don't know if the line is as funny anymore. The one that Matthew McConaughey that is truly known for. I love high school girls. I keep getting older. They stay the same age. Here in the Me Too movement. but I'm going to throw it out there that I still think it's hilarious, in a great reference to that movie and the way, these characters thought within the film. And of course, that film had a lot of like up and coming talent. I mean, it was such a plethora of, people who are famous now that we recognize, like a young Ben Affleck and Cole Hauser, and you had Robin Tooney in there. One of the women, of course, Mila Jovovich, was one of her first early movies. So there's just incredible talent within that film. So if you had to give this movie, if you were grading this movie now, what grade would you give it as a critic?
Well, once again, it's hard to be completely objective, because it's one of those movies that's kind of a nostalgic sort of film. I mean, I don't think of it as a great film per se, objectively, but if you're just looking to have a good time and you remember it as something that was enjoyable from when you were young, then I think it's absolutely fine. But
right. No, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with that. I mean, I think there's a lot going on with that movie. I mean, very much like John Hughes, you seem to capture everybody perfectly, in high school. We all know those different kinds of kids in high school. And I think that's part of the brilliance of it. I don't think it's Linklater's best film either. I think he definitely got better with films over the years. But it's a great testament to, Texas youth growing up in the 70s and, the Bible Belt and just a fun, coming of age story. So, all right. We're going to move right along to our next movie line. We're actually making some good headway, so we may slow down just a little bit because we're going to get to the double points round, and that's going to take a little time because not only do you have to name the movie line, you got to name the actor or actress who said it. Not their character's name, the actual actors and actresses. So you probably will have to go to imdb.com on that one. But here is number 18. This is our line number 18, the last one before we get to the double points round. So go ahead. What is the line, Alex?
Well, actually, Janine is senior drive-through manager, so you kind of are on her turf.
Another great little fun film. And I don't even know if it's politically correct to even talk about the actor who said the line anymore, since his career is pretty much done, and that's kind of a clue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think we can ignore the great films that he's done that are still fun to go back and watch. So, all right, anybody out there? You know what this movie is?
somebody's bound to get this one, I would think. But.
Right. Okay, I think we have an answer here. We have American Beauty. Yes. Okay. All right. We've actually zipped through this pretty fast. I thought 25 movie lines would be a lot over the course of 2 hours. But anyway, that's good. We're moving right along. So we're going to give you a little extra time on some of these other movies as we get to the double points. Now, like I said, the rule is it has to be the actor or actress's name. Okay. So like, for example, if you this last question, not only would you have to say American Beauty, but you would also have to say, and I'm just drawing a holy crap, I literally just drew a blank on the actor's name that I was just talking about. Alex, help me out there.
Oh, on American Beauty, or?
Yeah, I'm giving an example. The actual actor's...
Kevin Spacey.
Yes, yeah. Kevin Spacey. Thank you. Wow. Live on social media. I'm just drawing a blank. What the hell is in this beer? Am I still being affected by the brownie that I got yesterday? Maybe. So anyway, yes, you would actually have to say American Beauty and Kevin Spacey all in the same thread. Has to be the actor or actress's name. So we're going to give you a little time to bring up imdb.com just in case you need it, or Google or whatever. So we'll give you a little extra time with some of these, questions. We're going to be doing this throughout while the world is pretty much quarantined. We'll probably be rolling this out once or twice a week to give something, people something to do. Also wanted to take a quick break before we get to the double points round to mention that a lot more programming is coming from That Nerd Show on our YouTube channel. And of course, we'll be getting back to our podcast schedule, which will be on YouTube from now on as well. And of course, our Twitch channel, which is twitch.com/That Nerd Show Gaming. You can check out gameplay reviews and, of course, any kind of gaming stuff that we're doing here. But just out of curiosity, while we're waiting to do the double round, if you're watching this, you get a great picture of the studio of That Nerd Show / my office. It pretty much looks like a nerd studio. But we always have classic games playing on in the background as part of the ambiance, so to speak. Is anybody out there, can they guess what game is playing in the background on the classic BoobTube TV? Or is from the classic gaming section in my office? And a little hint there, it's basically a TV that I have from an ex-girlfriend because the old BoobTube TVs, it's the Zapper guns from the original Nintendo only work on those kind of TVs. So I have a perfect little setup with like old school consoles, 8 and 16-bit type stuff. So, but anyway, you don't even get any bonus points. I just want to make sure that everybody knows what's playing in the background. It's our way of testing your nerdum. So, and I would be very disappointed if people didn't. It's a staple of pop culture. So anyway, thank you. Yes, Kelly, absolutely. Donkey Kong. So I'm always finding games. I have one of those. I have one of those little classic Nintendos that has like 600 games on the hard drive. You can usually get them from China for like $20. And I'm always finding games on there that I don't remember from that era that got thrown there. Some of them are actually, never got released here in the US. Like, for example, the Goonies game. The Goonies game never got released. The first one never got released on consoles. It was just an arcade and it was only released in Japan. But you can get it now on some of these classic, little classic Nintendos or Super Nintendos. So, all right. We are going to get to the double points round. So literally that just simply means you'll get 2 points for each answer. If you get one wrong, but you get the other part of the question wrong or right, then you'll only get 1 point. So, but you have a chance for 2 different points. So just remember, you have to name the movie and the actor or actress who said it, not their character's name, their actual real name. All right. Okay. So number 19, that's up to me. That's my turn. So here you go. Yeah. A Landlord's Dream, a paralyzed tenant with no tongue. So there you go. What movie is that from and what actor said it? I will quote it again. Also, here's your clue. It is actually the 25th anniversary of this movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're big on anniversaries here at That Nerd Show. So anytime we hit like a big anniversary for like cult movies that we really like, we want to talk about it. So, and 1995 was a great year of movies. There was a lot of good stuff that came out that year. Clearly not as good as 1994, but still a good year in movies. So, all right, there you go. Got the answer. It is the movie Seven with Brad Pitt. So, all right. So this, I got to tell you, before we get to the next one, I got to tell you, this movie creeped me out the first time I saw it, and I saw it in the theater on a date. It was just absolutely creepy, and everything seemed to work in it. And of course, you know, I think people tend to forget that Kevin Spacey was actually in that movie because that was the year he won the Oscar for The Usual Suspects. But I still love going back and watching, this movie. It's just incredible. Alex, what do you like and what do you don't like about Seven?
Oh man, well, it's tough. I mean, the enjoyed the acting performances, of course. I mean, when you think of Morgan, when you think of Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, you can't really, when you talk about their most notable or memorable.
Sorry.
I
gotta make a correction. Christine will get 2 points on this because she named the movie and the actor. Scott will actually get 1 point because he did say the actual movie. So we will give Scott the point on that, even though it's double points round, which actually makes you two tied. So there you go. Sorry about that. We're trying to keep up the way that everything is refreshing. So Scott did at least name the movie first, but like I said, failed to mention the actor. But you at least get 1 point. So, but anyway, continue.
Well, I remember it, more for just how iconic it was, and for the two actors, you can't mention either of them without remembering this movie for both of them. So I guess there are not that many movies where you remember two actors and two roles
right
so well in the same movie. Usually you have one guy you remember it for more, but I think in this case they are equally attributable in terms of how important, how good it was, how effective it was. But another thing I remember was that it was one of the few movies during that time when I was a kid where it was actually mentioned, among, Christian people because of, what it's kind of based on. And so it wasn't very often that you heard these movies mentioned in the breath of, people who were in the ministry, and they were kind of bringing it up to sort of, I guess, relate to the audience or whoever was listening and so forth. So that was kind of interesting at the time too.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. All right. So we're going to move to the next round. But one thing about Seven, this movie still holds up, still creepy as shit to watch. And being the writer that I am, there's a little ominous Ernest Hemingway quote at the end that Morgan Freeman's character says that it's kind of fitting for the movie, but also strange that you'd be quoting Hemingway at the end of the movie. But, the line in the movie is Hemingway once said that, I believe the world is a fine place and worth fighting for. And Morgan Freeman is like, I agree with the first part. Or I agree with the second part or something like that. So I'm sorry I'm messing that up. But anyway. Okay, so here is number 20. And Alex, you get to do this one. Now, again, remember, we'll give you 1 point if you only get part of the answer correct. But you get double points if you name the actor who said the line, the actual actor, and the name of the movie. All right. Say it, Alex.
You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility.
Worst Scottish accent ever. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But yes, the actor does have an accent when he says this line. And the only clue that I will throw out there is this is another movie that's pretty damn scary, but still holds up all these years later.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's one press member, if he was watching, he would jump right off the bat and get the answer to this one because I'm pretty sure this is his favorite movie. So we're talking about our buddy Don Ford, who is with Clubhouse Podcast, and they're actually on the air right now. But yes, Chad is correct. It is the movie Alien, and Ian Holm is the one who said it, who plays Ben.
Right.
So, all right. I don't know. We got ourselves a pretty good little contest here between Scott, Chad, and Christine. You guys are all within like a point with one another. So we're going to see again. Oh, actually, I take that back. Right now, we have a 3-way tie between Scott, Chad, and Christine. Yeah. Chad got 2 points on that one. So we may actually have to go to a bonus round. That would be awesome. We have to figure out some movie lines on the fly.
Yeah.
All right. So, number 21. And I'll ready to post this one.
I'll be judging you very harshly on this one, just to let you know ahead of time.
I got to do the accent, huh? Okay. All right. We've already given a clue that it involves an accent. So I'll try. I'll try. Okay. Here we go. Oh, for Pete's sake. He's fleeing the interview. He's fleeing the interview. Was that good enough? Oh, sorry. I didn't post number 20 on the event page. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out a better way of doing this. So I apologize for everybody out there. This was the first time that we've tried this. But we're glad that everybody's joining in for this contest. We're definitely going to do another one maybe later this week. And we'll figure out the best way to do this. Oh, well, Chad just jumped right on the bat on that one.
Boom.
Okay. Boom. Well, there we go. 2 points for Chad. Yes, it is Frances McDermott in the movie Fargo. And
I'm gonna barf.
Oh, man. This one kind of has a special place in my heart. I saw this when I was in college. I had a professor, an English professor, who loved the movie so much that she showed this movie in class one day. I think she was hungover and wearing the same outfit from the day before, which made it even better. But anyway, yeah, this movie was absolutely hilarious. And it pretty much cemented the Coen brothers as bona fide, movie stars, writer and directors. So
I think it kind of took them to the next level. It sort of gave them some legitimacy in the minds of those who were handing out the awards every year.
Right. Yeah, it really did. It made a huge difference for their careers, and we've gotten so many great movies by them. Here's the thing: Raising Arizona is a cult classic. We all fell in love with them because of Raising Arizona. All right. But you don't really get legitimacy until you finally get like that Oscar for writing. It's kind of the same thing with, and I feel that with Taika Waititi, because he's been such kind of a cult classic director coming from New Zealand, has written some great stuff, but and yet became bigger when he did a Thor movie. But now that he has the Oscar for Jojo Rabbit, which I think it was my favorite film of last year, he's kind of had that legitimacy that people realize that he's a great writer and a director and stuff. So now, real quick, out of the Coen Brothers movies, which one is your favorite, Alex?
Well, that's a tough call, but this one would certainly be up there, and of course, No Country for Old Men was spectacular. So
yeah,
it probably comes down to those two movies for me. Although there's certainly others that I like and remember fondly. So
yeah, definitely a good one. Both of them are great movies. All right. Let me get ready to post this.
This one will be a more challenging one, I think.
Yeah, this one's a challenging one. I know that everybody has seen this film.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But, we've definitely talked about it. Okay, go ahead and say it.
I liked her much better when she was an alcoholic crack addict. She gets in one car wreck and all of a sudden she's Little Miss Perfect and everyone loves her.
Okay. This one's challenging. You might have to go to the Google machine on this one. And you'll probably have to hit imdb.com for the actress because she pretty much fell off the face of the earth. But here's a clue. We did actually have another one of her movies with a line earlier. It wasn't her line, but she was in this movie. I know. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually have you read the next one in a row because I actually want to read number 24. The way it's come out, there's a certain way I want to do that line to deliver it because it's one of my favorite stupid movies. And then I'll have you read number 25. So you'll do 23 and then 25 and I'll do 24. All right.
Okay.
Excuse me, everybody. So did we actually stump the audience on this one? Did we finally? Really? This is the one. I thought Double Indemnity would actually be the one that stump everybody, and of course not. Right out of the gate.
Yeah, we have people who are fans of the black and white genre. So, but this one is definitely kind of pretty much every movie this guy makes is a cult classic. I mean, he's just kind of a strange, interesting filmmaker. So
yeah,
that's everything. People either really, really like his stuff, or they probably have never even heard of him. So,
well, I got to tell you too. The first time I saw this movie, I saw it as a screener, and I was just like, because I was working at a video store one time, so we got it in early, and I was just curious about it. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I didn't read much up on it, so I watched it. And I'm like, what did I just watch with all these weird cast of characters? So I had to watch it again to really kind of appreciate how brilliant of a film it is. And it is. I mean, it's the weird little cast of characters that makes this film. It's not just the two actresses or anything. It's all the people they encounter, okay, in this movie. Like, and this is your clue if you're still having a hard time on this. The nunchuck dude outside the gas station who would just buy cigarettes, have no shirt, and do his nunchucks outside of a gas station, just for no
famous speech, baby.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to be there. He's just there. I feel like we always know people. We've seen these people outside of gas stations. They're just like, why are you here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? But they're working hard doing whatever weird shit they're doing.
Yeah, I struggle to even fathom what kind of a job that guy was doing. I just know that he was working a double.
Surprisingly enough, though, I've never actually. I take that back. I have actually seen someone just walk around with nunchucks for no apparent reason outside of a gas station. And when I saw that, it made me immediately think about this movie. It's like, holy shit, it's that guy from this movie. He is real. Really? We found the movie to stump everybody. Oh my gosh, the movie people here. Man, y'all are working hard to try to Google this, aren't you? All right, we'll give you the line. We'll go ahead and say the line again. I I liked her much better when she was an alcoholic crack addict. She gets in one car wreck and all of a sudden she's Little Miss Perfect and everyone loves her. Wow. I'm just going to say it. Those of you that are watching, I'm questioning your taste in independent movies. All right, I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes to give everybody a chance, just one more chance to Google this. I mean, literally, you can copy
There's like one point I want to mention that I think is interesting without giving too much away.
Okay.
With these two women who are sort of the lead act. Well, really, one's more of an actor, plays a bigger role in this movie than the other. But
right.
These two actresses were kind of going different directions when you look at what's happened in the last 20 years or so.
Right.
One of them we saw in a number of movies during the 90s, and the other we had never really seen much before. And yet she is the big star who is very well known at this point, and the other one we really don't see at all. So
right. She's still around and pops up and stuff here and there, but she did disappear. Yeah. I think she did a few things after the movie that we previously mentioned, American Beauty. There you go. There's your clue.
Yeah.
And then
but that would have been like the year before or the same year, I think. So.
No, it was the year after.
Okay. Well, I thought they were about the same year.
Okay. Well, we at least have the movie, but do we have the actress's name? No actress's name? Okay. All right, there we go. Yes. Somebody did their research. It is Thora Birch, who is the actress in the movie Ghost World. And the other actress that we are talking about that we hinted all around was Scarlett Johansson. It was one of her early films. And they basically play high school friends getting an apartment together. One of them is taking life more seriously, while Thora Birch has this weird journey among all these casts of just these weird characters throughout the movie. And if you haven't watched this film, it is so hilarious.
Well, don't forget about Steve Buscemi, who
yes,
did a great job in this movie as well. And if you're somebody who pays attention to actors from a slew of TV shows, you have Brian George as the very, very funny store clerk manager.
But yeah, the nunchuck dude in this movie, I mean, if nothing else, you need to go watch that scene because it kind of makes the film. But yeah, we are talking about Ghost World.
Right. He's not in there much, but for whatever he is in there, he's really funny. Just a couple of scenes he has, he's great. So
right. Okay. Alex is going to do the next one, so I can do 24 and do that movie line justice, or at least attempt to. So, Alex, go ahead and do number 24. And Christine gets the 2 points on this.
Okay, so 23, right?
Yes, you're reading 23.
Okay. Right at this moment, the biggest R that I feel is regret. Regret that maybe the greatest warrior I've ever known met her end at the hands of a bushwhacking scrub, hulky piece of shit like you. That woman deserved better.
All right. This is another one I feel like people should get right off the bat.
Yeah.
I know. I say that because of what we do. It's like, but again, I don't know if they would recognize the actress right off the bat who would say this. But yes, you gotta, or Christine will just nail it in 5 seconds. Yes,
Boom.
Yeah, boom. That is correct. We are talking about Kill Bill Volume 1, and the actress is Daryl Hannah. All right. All right. We're going to give Scott a point because he literally posted the name of the movie right when Christine did. It came in basically about the same time, but you only get the point for name of the movie, not the actress. Well, you did now, but we'll give you 1 point on that because technically Christine was first. All right. boom, boom. Everybody's at the same time. And Chad, we do love the GIFs. We just want to say that we do, but it does not count as an answer. We might give you half a point on that. All right, great. Kill Bill, another great Tarantino film. In fact, the Kill Bill movies are really my favorite. They're really my favorite Tarantino films. So, Alex, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I kept hearing noises. Figured, and I don't know. We might have to check. Let me look at the comments here. I'll give Chad a point on Thora Birch, but that's how we'll score that. So we'll keep everything close. I'm trying to keep up with it, dude. We're looking at it as it comes in. So, yeah. But anyway, all right. Here is the line. The next movie line. This is actually number 24. So we're trying to refresh, but it's not. I can't actually see the full list of comments. It's not. I don't know. All right. Here's the next one that I'm about to say in a minute after I get ready to copy and post. Yeah. So again, we do apologize for any technical difficulties. We're trying to see who hits it first, but we will come up with a better system the next time that we play. And now it's not even allowing me to actually. Oh, there we go. Okay, so be prepared, be enthusiastic, leave your bullshit attitude and baggage at the door because we don't need it. God, never mind. I literally just posted the answer in there. Wow, I suck. How about that? All right, nope, that one doesn't count. I posted the answer. Okay, so we're going to jump around, and I'm going to write out something for our last question. Wow, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't count because. All right, give us just a moment. We're going to get to number 25, and. I should have had some backups just in case this happened, and it didn't. Hold on one second. But yes, it is Wet Hot American Summer, and it was said by Amy Poehler. And Skynet is definitely affecting my email right now. Nope. Judge is ruling. We're going to do number 25. And then I'll come up with your other line. So give me 1 second. Alex, Wet Hot American Summer. You've seen this movie, right?
It's not one I'm very familiar with. I mean, I know it's Amy Poehler, but that wouldn't be one I'd have much to say about.
All right. Well, in the meantime, what do you think is the greatest comedy of all time?
Oh, man. Well, I would say that, well, gosh, I guess there's got to be somewhat of a different view on what's the greatest comedy and what's your personal favorite, because they're kind of two different things in a way.
Well, go ahead. While I write this out, go ahead and tell our audience.
Well, one that I personally like a lot, and, you know, if I were making a list of greatest comedies, one that I would probably put on that list would have to be The Naked Gun. I think, to me, Leslie Nielsen is one of the most well-known and most recognized comedic actors, and so I think even if Naked Naked Gun is not necessarily one that you think is the best comedy, you at least have to include something that he was in from that time period as one of the greats. So it could be Airplane or it could be The Naked Gun, but that would be one I would definitely consider. But, you know, the way I usually judge comedy, of course, it's, you know, pretty simple, really. It's just the ability to make you laugh. So, I mean,
Right.
the movies I remember the most were the ones that made me laugh the most. So, you know, Dumb and Dumber made me laugh pretty hard. I think Meet the Parents, I would say, is a better overall film. So that would be one that I would say maybe like since the year 2000 is probably one of the better comedies that was made, you know, maybe in this century up to this point, for example. But
Right. You know, there's always something special about the there's always something special about the Naked Gun movies. I don't know how much that we can relate to them now. I mean, it's always funny to see O.J. Simpson in there, and now when we go back and watch it. Okay.
yeah, and it ended up being a pretty decent trilogy by comedy standards too. Actually, I think you could put all three movies together and watch them back to back to back and have a pretty good time with it,
Right.
and not feel a huge letdown. So.
Okay. So I had to what will end up being our last line because I screwed up. Alex, it's 3 simple words for this movie, and it was going to be our final movie, but it'll be our next to the last. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you are a nerd and you have not seen this movie, you should absolutely be ashamed of yourself. So, again, you got to name the name of the movie and the actress. Go ahead and say it, Alex.
Lilo Dallas Multipass.
That's right. Lilu Dallas Multipass. And if you're thinking this is about Dallas, Texas, you are incorrect. Yeah, this one, anytime this movie is on cable, I'll just stop and watch it. It's like automatic. Ah, there you go. See, again,
All right.
I was getting worried about some of these people out there. All right. We got Chad in the lead. All right. So wow, look, you guys are literally jumping on that one. I understand what you're saying, that it's the main character's name, but again, some people haven't seen these, and we're requiring the actress's name. But I like how everybody nailed this right off the bat, because this is one of the greatest movies. And because you guys, Chad gets the 2 points, but I will give 1 point to our other two who nailed it right off the bat at the same time, just because it's going to make things interesting. All right. So, and yes, Chris Tucker literally makes that movie as Ruby Red. One of the greatest roles he ever had. And I get a special. There's a certain amount of pleasure I get when I see people cosplay him at conventions, because it's so kind of obscure, but not really among nerds, and you have to think about it for a moment, like, oh yeah, it's Ruby Red from Fifth Element. So, but that I also want to say that's the greatest Bruce Willis role outside of Die Hard. But
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure.
We will agree to disagree on
Why?
on this
What do
movie,
you
I
think is Bruce Willis's greatest role outside of Die Hard? Go ahead, school me before we get to the last question. What's
I like The Sixth Sense a lot. I mean, in terms of because it was something a little different from what he normally does. I don't really feel like Fifth Element is that much of a departure from what he normally was doing in terms of being sort of an action film. So
well, that's probably true, but again, he's just great in it, and I mean, he probably is. He probably is John McClane, 300 years in the future, and I'm okay with that. But my favorite line in that is when he walks in and shoots everybody. Anybody else want to negotiate?
Yeah, that was basically in the the trailer whenever they showed that on TV.
Right.
So
it may not be his greatest role. As Kelly pointed out here, Red and Red 2 are fantastic films as well. He does probably have a better performance, but I just love The Fifth Element so much. It's such a great, crazy ride of a movie.
It just makes me want to watch Blade Runner, really. So
well, the reason I really love that movie is why am I drawing a blank? Oh, who played Zord? And I apologize. He played Gordon in the Batman movies, and I literally just drew a blank on the actor's name. Alex, help me out. Really? I keep putting you on the spot, huh?
I've mailed you out before.
Okay. I swear to God, we're not high.
Gary Oldman. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Literally just drew a blank on his name. But yes, Gary Oldman was fantastic as Zord in that movie. So, all right. Yeah, I may be getting old. So here is, I basically had to come up with a movie line from a really funny movie, and it's kind of obscure, but I will give you a clue that the movie is 30 years old this year.
All right.
And I guarantee you'll like at least one of the actors in this movie if you figure out what it is. So I'm going to copy and paste it. Hopefully it'll take somebody a little while to get it. And then we're going to see what happens afterwards. Okay. Hey, baby. Up your butt with a coconut. I think he was prepared to do it, except I saw no coconut. Name the movie and the actor who said it. Do you know, Alex? Since I basically just threw it in there.
It doesn't ring a bell. I'd have to look it up.
I might have stumped some people on this. And then y'all are going to be killing yourself once you actually figure out who the actor is. And you're going to be like, wait, I don't think I've ever seen this movie. I need to go watch it. And you should. It's a hidden gem of a movie that displays the lead actor's versatile talent. That's all I can say without completely giving it away. I think it's one of the most brilliant movies he ever did, even though it's hardly it's not recognized compared to his others. Well, Christine gets the movie right, but the actor's wrong. So you get 1 point. You get 1 point on that. But Gina Davis did not say that line. So, but yes, if you guys are all rushing to Google and IMDb.com, she did just list the name of the movie, and I'm not going to say it all. I'm not going to say it live. You guys are just going to have to read the thread and quickly try to Google and figure out the answer. So we'll see if anybody...
I've never seen this one, so.
Chad, are you asking if that's the answer? Because we can't just say it. You got to give an answer. Okay. I might actually. Chad, was the question mark a typo or? Well, we'll give you a point on that. How about that? Because what will make things interesting is we actually have to go to a tiebreaker. We have to come up with a movie line that is a tiebreaker because Chad and Christine are both sitting at 13 points. So, yes, the correct answer is the movie Quick Change with Bill Murray and Gina Davis and Randy Quaid. Bill Murray is the one that says the line, but if you've never seen this movie, it's Bill Murray who devises a plan to rob a bank and leave New York City, but they can't. They keep having trouble getting out of New York City after robbing the bank. But he basically dresses up as a clown to get inside the bank and hold everybody hostage. It's one of the greatest Bill Murray movies ever made. He co-directed the film. If you want to just watch a movie about Bill Murray just being Bill Murray with great lines and off the cuff, then you need to watch this. You will not be disappointed. Also, a great movie with Jason Robards, who plays the police chief. So, but anyway, okay. I can't believe we're actually going to go to a tiebreaker. So now I got to actually pull up one line. I've got to, so give me just a moment. I got to figure out a line for a tiebreaker. But Alex, for a moment, you're going to talk about Bill Murray movies. What is your favorite Bill Murray movie?
Oh, man. You know, the first one that I really remember, because I saw it in theaters when I was a small kid, is Scrooged. I wouldn't, when I think about it in retrospect, it's definitely not the one I would say is my favorite, but it's one that I remember a lot because I saw it as a kid and I thought it was pretty funny. But, you know, he's had a lot of really good comedies. And you may even have to sort of divide it between movies that you remember as being his best and then movies that you remember being his funniest. Because there are some movies he's done that weren't necessarily as funny, but are considered as better films, like Groundhog Day or Lost in Translation. But I think I might have to go with What About Bob, just because I think that the dynamic between he and Richard Dreyfuss was such an unusual pairing, and the two of them took it so far that they actually had this running joke where they, as far as I know, it's a running joke. I don't think they're serious about it, but they sort of joke about how they don't like each other, they don't get along because of that movie. And I think it's really just sort of a joke they have going on where they say that when they don't really mean it. But to me, that's the first one I think of if I'm talking about my favorite Bill Murray movie in terms of just a really good comedy.
Right. I honestly, Stripes always holds a special place in my heart because I was former Army, and I love the fact that Do Wah Diddy Dum has perfect cadence to marching. It really does. And you know, if you get like a drill sergeant with a sense of humor, they will do marching to that. But Ghostbusters is always a classic. I always pick one that's not necessarily like about comedy more than anything else. That's such a huge kind of departure for Bill Murray. And I always loved his version of The Razor's Edge. And he really fought hard to actually get to do that movie. But it's a remake of an English film from the 40s. But it's about a soldier who has PTSD and basically goes to find his own, happiness, so to speak, in the Himalayas and stuff, and then comes back and basically is disgusted with society and his ex and all that because of the things that they think are important that really aren't. But it's an incredible piece of acting. Like for everybody that says that they love him in Lost in Translation, which is a great movie, I always try to remind them, well, before he did that and he was funny and dramatic and stuff, you need to go watch The Razor's Edge. So that's one of my favorites. But I mean, as for comedy, Quick Change probably is right up there with me, just because he's so brilliant. And Rushmore, and I will absolutely agree about Rushmore. But I also think Wes Anderson films aren't truly great unless you have Bill Murray in there doing something. And my favorite Wes Anderson film is Life Aquatic. There's just so many little things that I love about that film. So, and you're like, no, that's not a great movie. You think that's one of the worst?
No, that's not bad. But compared to the movies that came before it, I don't think it's as good. I think it's good. I think it's better than what a lot of the critics said of it when it first came out. I think it was underrated at the time, but maybe that's why it kind of gets forgotten a little bit. But I'm not saying it's bad. I did like it. I thought it had a great cast, and I like the fact that you had all these, David Bowie songs being played by the French musician on the boat. I thought that was cool. But
right. No, I understand. But again, I think it's Bill Murray at his best more than anything else. So to me, he's hilarious, he's pretty much like a dick throughout the entire movie, but a lovable dick. And the way he pairs off is the way he pairs off against Owen Wilson in that movie cracks me up. I mean, it's kind of an interesting departure for Cate Blanchett as a role as well, but she's really good in it.
And the guy who I really liked in that movie was Willem Dafoe. I thought he was hilarious in that movie.
But Willem Dafoe, I think we just expect him to. We just expect him to be great in pretty much anything he does. So, all right. Here's what we're gonna do. I have a line, and again, you got to name the actor's name and the name of the movie. So here is the tiebreaker. $7? Are you fucking serious? That isn't enough for anything. What are you, a 6-year-old? Do you know that movie, Alex?
It doesn't ring a bell.
Now, like I said, this is for double points. Double points. Everybody's going to go. So you really don't recognize this one, huh?
Not off the bat.
Okay. It's kind of a stupid movie. I mean, a young kind of high schoolish coming of age sort of movie. I mean, but there's a lot of great little humor, and I think you kind of identify with these characters in their quest to be popular and stuff. And I'm actually dropping clues in their adventure together. Yeah. But it's also a movie that gave us one of the greatest fake names you could ever have. That is part of pop culture now. Right. Of course, if I say that, then I'm really giving the movie away. But
I think I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, yeah. If I say that, then it really is just truly giving the name away. Nope, it is not Easy A. See, the problem is there's so many great movie lines that are just recognizable. I mean, you have to find the obscure ones that, you know, no one really thinks about. So that's what I tried to do is really tried to find a movie that, or try to find lines from movies that people don't think of, or they really had to like pay attention. So, but don't forget, we need the name of the movie and the actor who said it. I did like this movie, though. I did laugh. There's a lot of great things about this movie, but I don't think it's really the main characters that make this movie. The movie is not half-baked. Nope. It is not Christopher Mintz. Nope. Really? I'm telling y'all no. I mean, we're getting kind of close, but wow, I feel like this one's kind of stumping people. That's kind of interesting. Because I mean, it came out in the last 13 years.
Well, I think once you kind of explained what the movie was about, to me it was fairly obvious what it's probably from. So.
Right. So McLovin did not say this line.
That's the ultimate giveaway right there.
That is the ultimate giveaway.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is the actor's name and the who said the line and the name of the film. All right. So we'll put you on a clock if anybody wants to. One chance. We got to at least the name of the movie.
Okay.
I think people are just throwing out movies at this point. So let me. I don't have a watch. I think that's kind of hilarious. Wow. People really are kind of all over the place on this. Has anybody answered on your thread, Alex?
Sorry? No.
Okay. No answer?
No.
All right. Okay. Final seconds for tiebreaker. All right. That's what IMDb is for. Yes, the correct answer of this movie is Superbad, and Jonah Hill said the line in the movie. So there you go. Christine did get the tiebreaker on that. Took a little while. We're going to go to imdb.com. But yes, it is correct. I was kind of surprised. I figured more people would actually get that one because it's been a very popular movie to go back and watch, and I know a lot of people that do quote that movie. So, but anyway, so that has been named that movie by based off the movie line. We've given you some movie lines that have stumped you, that you've really made you think. Some that I thought would stump our audience, and turned out that was not the case. So anyway, we will be back doing this, and we'll figure out a better way with the message boards and stuff. But we want to thank everybody for watching and giving us your guesses. We actually went down the wire on this one and actually had to go to a tiebreaker, which I thought was which I think is awesome. But the way it falls down, our first place winner is Christine. Our second place winner is Chad. And then Scott comes in at number 3. Some of y'all had some good answers. Our friend Kelly Counts did get 1 point for automatically knowing the movie from The Hangover, or the line from The Hangover. So there you go. And one real quick thing, Alex, Superbad as a movie, do you like that movie? Is it one that you would be critical of if it came out today? Alex?
Well, yeah,
okay.
probably. I mean, I think it kind of came along early and for a lot of the people involved, so they've certainly improved, I think, with time. So, it's one of those movies that I think depending on how old you were and when you saw it, it's kind of one of those that you remember well for comedic reasons, but it wouldn't have been one that I necessarily grappled onto and remembered as fondly as some of the others did. So
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think what makes that movie is not Jonah Hill or Michael Che or whatever his name is. I thought that movie, who stole that movie was the two cops, Seth Rogen and I forget the other actor's name who used to be on SNL. I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I apologize for that. But I thought them with McLovin and all of their adventures together was more hilarious and really made that movie. And you always wish that you could have a cool cop that could help you out impressing a woman. So them carrying him out and like, this guy's dangerous, taking 2 of them to wrestle McLovin to get him into the squad car to help him with the ladies. I wish all cops could be like that. So, but anyway, this has been our first foray into our call it a quarantine game show, so to speak. Name that movie line. We're going to be doing it again at some point. So look for the event page, and we'll figure out a better way to do everything to make it a little bit easier. So thank you very much for playing and giving us a good test run on this. And if there are types of trivia game shows or whatever that you'd love for us to do to host, we are all ears. So, all right, Alex, say goodbye because we are getting out of here.
Ta-ta.
Okay, well.
Call ended.
All right, everybody out there on social media and YouTube, I'm Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show, and I'm joined here by Alex Moore.
How do you do?
I was about to say, did you already disappear, Alex? We haven't even